bronze. Up next to the track, we will have the senior women's 3,000 meter steeplechase final, and we will see the Canadian record holder, Kaylee McCabe, in this race. Ran 9:20:58 last month in Los Angeles, and also got her the Olympic entry standard.
And that is a big deal. Yes, she ran 9:20:58, like you said. That lowered the former Canadian record that was set by the great Jen Lalonde. Jen, a finalist in the steeplechase at the Tokyo Olympics. That's where that Canadian record came from. So when you break a record like that and you know what went into setting it, it gives a different sort of context. This is an event that absolutely has been thrilling to watch on the women's side over the last several years. Of course, it only became an Olympic event, we should remind our audience, in 2008 for women. So prior to that, it was not an Olympic event on the women's side. So of course, the development has been much faster over the last couple of decades than other events have. Nonetheless, Canada has continued to excel at the top level. And we've seen many performances under 9:30 and now very close to under 9:20 on the Canadian side. So as you mentioned, that time of 9:20:58, that new Canadian record by McCabe, also better than the 9:23 flat Olympic standard. So this will be McCabe's first outing at the Olympics. She did qualify to the last two World Championships and spoke at length about the value from that experience of competing at a top level. She was a standout for the University of West Virginia. And of course, we've talked about how much the development process of the NCAA helps. But it's a different ball game when you're at the top of the world. And that's where Kaylee is aiming. She's going to be in excellent company, Adam.
We'll be joined by Jessie LaCourse, Georgia Bernhard, Kyra Pretry, Meredith Boyer, Maureen Garnier, Jaden Keeler, Marisha Thompson, Alisa Tripotin, Emily Brown, Benit Baines, Caitlin Stewart-Barnett, Jessica Furlan, Alicia Butterworth, Grace Featherstone, Regan Yee, who has the championship record here. She set that last year in the victory, 9:24:82. And then it'll be McCabe wearing hip 16, and she goes out to the early lead.
And that's not surprising. Of course, she wants the win as well. So McCabe wearing hip 16. She's tucked on the outside there in that West. She's actually on the outside in that West Virginia kit. This is Alicia Butterworth wearing hip 13 up to the front, and just to the inside of her, that's Grace Featherstone, another NCAA standout, was 6th last year in this event at the NCAA. So it is the two Canadians who have represented U.S. collegiate programs tucked behind our early leader, Butterworth. And Butterworth, an accomplished athlete in her own right. She was another Tokyo Olympian in this event and a Pan Am silver medalist last year in 2023. She was the Canadian silver medalist in this event in 2017 and a member of the World Champs team then as well. And she's been steepling for a long time. She's in her early 30s now, but took up the event for the first time at age 13. So talk about years of development. Grace Featherstone, a personal best of 9:31.27. She set that last year. She's got a best of 9:39.62 this year, but there's Regan Yee, the defending national champion. She was also the winner of this event in 2021, six-time Canadian indoor champion, including, Adam, we saw her do the triple here at Claude Robillard at the Canadian Indoor Championships just a couple of months ago, the 8:15 3,000 triple. That is a punishing way to run, but if you're a steeplechaser, you have to be a glutton for punishment. And definitely worth noting that championship record of Yee's from this event last year, 9:24.82. Olympic standard 9:23.00. So she is less than 2 seconds off of the Olympic standard and absolutely gunning for it. She trains in Flagstaff, Arizona, takes full advantage of the altitude there to get as fit as possible for these events, and has just been on a tear over the last year, setting personal bests all over the place. So not surprising to see her at the front of this pack in, again, what can only be described as an excitingly deep field.
So we've got McCabe, followed by Yee and Feather Stoneha, but there is a lot of women in that lead pack. 7 to be exact. No, I may have lied. 8. Regan Yee was hiding there.
The other athlete to mention there, Jessica Furlan, probably the most experienced of these runners. She has been competing at a high level since 2011 in this event. She's a 9:33.45 best from 2014. She was the national record holder at the time, Canadian champ in 13 and 14, and an All-American for the University of Nebraska. Also competed internationally at several championships in the early 2010s, early to mid 2010s. And then had some injury issues, took a bit of a hiatus, and is staging a comeback. You know, I love to see that. And she's doing all she can to hold on in fourth right now to this lead pack of 3. Again, that is McCabe now, confidently asserting herself at the front of the pack with Yee. McCabe, the 2022 winner, Yee, the 2023 winner, both former and current national record holders.
Well, it writes itself, the storylines here. Now it's a group of 4 at the front. Also up there is Furlan and Feather Stoneha. So you've got 3 former Canadian champions in the mix, and of course among them the reigning champion in Yee.
We also have 5 of the top 6 all-time in Canada in this event, 4 of them at the front of screen, and there's number 5, Alicia Butterworth, wearing hip 13, the only athlete missing from that top 6. Of course, Jen Lalonde, the former Canadian record holder, who has not been doing a whole lot of steepling that we know of lately, but always a big fan of the sport herself, we know. But this is an exciting quartet up front. Again, hard to gauge the splits here because, of course, each lap is a little bit more than 400 meters with the water barrier being on the outside.
Valuable points on the line here if you can't get the standard. Kaylee McCabe has the standard, as we mentioned. She's got the Canadian record as well. That was back in May, 9:20.58. Regan Yee, as it stands right now, is in the world rankings quota. So that window closes on June 30th. So Yee eligible for selection. They'll take 36 women to the Olympics in this event. Grace Feather Stoneha, very close right now. She's currently 39th in quota position.
Again, Regan in 27th, so lots of reason to be optimistic about her making her way to Paris in just over a month's time. And I am never-endingly impressed by Jess Furlan. She's one of the toughest athletes I've ever met. I had the privilege of training with her for some time out in Victoria, BC. Oh, and a trip there by Yee. That is the danger of that water pit. But again, talk about toughness. Yee is unbelievably tough in her own right and has done a good job of getting back up to the back of the pack. But I think that opportunity opened up here for McCabe to capitalize on some confusion behind her and really split this field open. She is going to the arms and turning over incredibly fast. She's the defending Canadian cross-country champion as well, so you know she's strong. We talk about it all the time, Adam. Cross-country and steeplechase, they tend to go hand in hand because you can jump over things, you can get up when you fall down, and you've just got that gritty mentality.
And you can deal with water too if you're a cross-country athlete. In fact, just having to deal with water once or once a lap is probably a bit of a relief for these athletes who also compete in cross-country. And it is McCabe well out in front right now. Jessica Furlan running in second. Featherstone right there with Furlan, and Regan Yee trying to reestablish contact after slipping at the last water jump, then taking a bit of a bump as she got in the way of Furlan.
And you can see how much faster McCabe turns over than these other runners. And again, their accolades speak for themselves. So they are phenomenal athletes in their own right. But look at the foot speed and what easy work McCabe makes of these barriers. She's going to come up and hear the bell. She looks as though she's sprinting for home, as if this is the end of the race. Hard to believe she's going to maintain this tempo, but she will. 8:16 on the clock with 1 lap to go. And again, that championship record set last year by Yee, 9:24.82. That could be under some serious threat here.
That last lap for McCabe, 77 seconds. It's her best so far. Let's see what she's got in store here. Looking for another Canadian title and to punch her ticket to Paris.
Well, she will need a 77 again in order to break the championship record, and lots of reason to think that's going to happen. 8:53 on the clock with just over 200 meters remaining.
So that championship record set a year ago by Yee, 9:24.82. McCabe has the standard. Now looking for the win. Another Canadian championship in her sights. One final barrier. She's over it. And Kaylee McCabe is going to move on to the Paris Olympics. She's got the standard. She's got the victory here at the 2024 Bell Trials. And a battle on for second. Regan Yee, what a rebound. She'll cross for the silver medal. What a finish after taking that fall at the water jump. And Grace Featherstone will come across for the bronze.
And that, as you mentioned, is so exciting, not only because they are medalists, but because those points matter significantly. And because she was so close on the line, Featherstone, she needed every point she could get. So the three who either have standard or are in the quota position come across as your medalists. You know, Adam, I have to apologize. I misspoke, did some bad math myself. So the championship record was not, in fact, under threat. The time is inconsequential, truly. The winner is Kaylee McCabe. She won in 22. She's won again in 24 when it matters most in an Olympic year. And she is headed to Paris.
But full marks, too, to the defending champion, Regan Yee. After falling in the water jump and falling back to fourth, she did some excellent work on the final 2 laps, and she gets herself a silver medal. Featherstone will be the bronze medalist. And there's McCabe with her oversized boarding pass. She's off to Paris. And the Canadian record holder, she's in a lead pack for a while. There you see the stumble by Yi, then takes a bump from Furlan as Furlan tries to avoid her. So that really opened the door for McCabe. You see Yi there running in fourth, but she did some amazing work on the final 2 laps, gets herself into the silver medal. But that, again, really opened the door here for McCabe as she takes the victory. And we will see her racing in Paris.